So it was early June, or so no, sorry, it was actually early July. And it was also Eid Adha holidays, and I decided to go check out Jurassic World Dominion. Even though initially I backtracked my ideas, seeing as there were negative social media reactions to the movie, even getting a 37 Metacritic score. So I had my reasons for being hesitant and pessimistic, and it was clear that the final film of the Jurassic World trilogy and even the whole Jurassic franchise movie was a complete disappointment and a major letdown, and even being ranked as one of the worst films in the franchise, and dare I say, possibly the whole year. So anyway, I just decided to go, and despite the pessimistic reactions, I would say like tolerable at best, somewhat mediocre. I do have a few issues that I've noticed that did drag the quality of the movie down a bit, but I will mention some good elements as well that I did like. Of course, once more, as you can expect, some fictional scientific research corporation doing something with dinosaurs, re-experimenting DNAs and whatnot, and figure out genetic codes and all that good stuff. Except this time, while there are dinosaurs, they were experimenting with insects known as the locusts for a reason or another, while they're all trying to get used to dinosaurs roaming around the world and the urban cities and all that ever since the previous film, Jurassic World Kingdom, and all that stuff. So whatever they could be doing could causing harm, and of course having black arm dealers for money, and even kidnapping creatures. So you get the whole idea. So it was just kind of hard to take them seriously, as they're just meant to kind of be problematic and sort of part of the plot. But at least it kind of kept the story moving. So again, like I don't get the whole emphasis on some sort of insect like the locust as really being the driving force of the plot. While the dinosaurs didn't really matter too much, they still had their moments in most of the scenes, most of the scenes. Although many critics did claim that there weren't too many dinosaurs throughout the movie, whereas that's kind of true, but they weren't completely absent overall when watching. There's still plenty of moments, like even a motorbike chase, a couple of raptors chasing Owen Grady, for example, and like, even though they're clearly visible and impactful scenes, but just not overall important, they were like creatures just trying to survive through, just to get, for the characters to survive, just to go from point A to point B throughout the movie, you know what I mean? Whether it's Owen or I think Claire, played by Bryce Dallas Howard, or Ellie Slater. But yeah, I'll talk about the new and old cast as well, and I kind of like that idea. And even this child known as Macy Lockwood, how like she's an important part of the movie, seeing as how she was genetically cloned child, and more of her backstory is revealed, trying to extract her DNA and trying to get more of it, So, and her presence in the film is vital, as she's really the one that somehow connects all the cast members together, or at least the cast members from old and new trilogy. So that was important. Also, another thing, I really like DeWanda Wise as Kayla Watts. A pilot who does smuggle cargo and all that sort of stuff, but she does have a moral code, and that kind of impacts her character arc throughout the movie. Seeing Maisie taken away, finds herself in a situation where she does help both Owen and Claire to get to Biosyn. Now, for Owen and Claire, Maisie is like an adoptive daughter, not biological, just for those that are lost. Kind of taking care of her because they know that she'll get kidnapped, and that's exactly what happens early on. I kind of liked how, like, Kayla, more than anyone, showed her strength as a character. She's not a weakling among the group. I didn't really like the acting for both Owen and Claire. Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, they just weren't very impactful or convincing actors in this movie to me. I don't know, I didn't like them very much, especially like their body language. It just seemed kind of rigid, you know what I mean? And like, I know there were moments where Claire's trying to be this brave woman, but she's just not tough like Kayla, at least to me. It just wasn't convincing for both of them throughout the movie. Maybe the momentum was halted from COVID-19. I mean, I don't know. That's what I'm just assuming. That's my best guess. Although it was good to see Laura Dern, Sam Neill, and even Jeff Goldblum in this movie. I liked seeing them again. I will confess, even to this day, I didn't see the second and third films of the original Jurassic Park trilogy. It's clear that the first one is definitely much, much better. But in some ways, they haven't really lost a step, so that's good to see. Another familiar cast member who seems to always get involved in one way or another, it's definitely B.D. Wong as Dr. Henry Wu. He always seems to be in the middle of something, scheme involved. His role has always, it's kind of been dialed back, but like he's more like someone who admired Maisie's mom, Dr. Charlotte Lockwood. Her studies of genetically cloning, re-engineering DNA genetics, and how she birthed Maisie as a single parent was important, so that's why she's kind of there. And the locust, if you try to pay attention, maybe it'll make sense, but to me, I'm just like, okay, whatever, I'll just go with it. And this is kind of like because I think dinosaurs roaming freely among the human world and all that, so that's kind of the thing. But like I knew throughout the movie, while Maisie was trying to escape from her kidnappers, is that she would be the link, as I was saying before. She was with Ellie and Sam while escaping Biosyn, and then they meet up with Owen and Claire. Of course, there's, what's his name? Malcolm, played by Jeff Goldblum. And then, of course, Kayla, the newcomer. There was another subplot that was important for Owen. Rescuing Blue's baby raptor named Beta. Some people may remember that raptor Blue trained, cared for Blue throughout the previous two movies. So Blue is like this raptor parent of Beta. So Beta and Maisie were kidnapped in the movie. So I kind of liked how he made the effort to keep the promise. There were still some high octane scenes in the beginning, in the middle, and the end, especially the end. But that was it. Like, to me, it ended in a way that was kind of like a dud sort of thing. It sort of reminded me how, Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker ended. And what's kind of ironic? This movie was directed by Colin Trevorrow, who was initially supposed to direct The Rise of Skywalker. So who knows how things could have turned out, but it wasn't entirely great. It ended as it started. Still dinosaurs among Earth, still among the humans as wild animals, as if nothing really happened or changed throughout the whole movie. I don't know, like, if somehow, depending wherever you are, if the movie is still in your local cinemas, and fine, check it out, but don't expect too much unless you just want to see a bunch of dinosaurs even battling each other at one point. In the end, that's really it. Just, yes, they're still dinosaurs, but it's not like they were so important, at least not from my point of view. Could I be wrong? Let me know. What is it that I'm missing? But I didn't think it was entirely great. But still, yeah, whatever. At least it's over with. Yeah.